happen TV. Yeah, let's get it.
Perfect pictures, broken mindset, hefty on the veneer. Scrolling through the static, trying to make the vision clear. It's broken minds behind the perfect pictures. Unscripted conversations, we the fixtures. Broken minds behind the perfect pictures.
Took the vision from my mind, made it happen on my time. Now I'm living in the proof, standing on my honest truth. Yeah, I'm covered and I'm kept, never missing any steps. It had to happen TV.
Let's welcome our host, Erica Wilson.
Great day, great day, great day, everyone. We're here live today with the girl, Dr. Erica Wilson, at It Had to Happen TV for our Tuesday night. I am so sorry. My phone is coming on here. But excuse me, please do excuse me. But we're here this Tuesday night, and I have an amazing guest with me on tonight. So, guys, listen. Tonight's conversation is actually for the people who learned how basically to survive, but never learned how to heal, right? But listen to this. In a world obsessed with appearances, performance, and pretending, many people are carrying silent wounds behind polished pictures and public smiles. But what happens when culture teaches people to suppress instead of process? What happens when strong people break silently and quietly? And what happens when silence becomes generational? So tonight on It Had to Happen TV, we're having a real conversation about mental health, personal autonomy, spiritual values, and the hidden emotional battles many people face behind closed doors. So please help me welcome author, educator, filmmaker, mentor, and talk radio host, the Mark Tuggle. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you, Dr. Wilson. It's an honor to be with you tonight.
It is such an honor to have you here on tonight. But I read a little bit about what it is that you do, the many hats that you wear. But I want you to go ahead and tell the audience all about who is Mark Tuggle.
I'm 65. I'm a person with lived experience. I was diagnosed with HIV and mental illness over 31 years ago. At that time, I didn't know any brothers who were talking about emotional intelligence or generational trauma or mental health or self-care or psychological safety. So I felt alone. I felt invisible. I felt confused. I felt frightened. I felt shameful. I felt worthless. I felt empty. I just really had no direction in my life. And, thank God, God has used my private pain for public purpose. And, I'm still healing a day at a time. I'm not okay every day, but on most days I feel good about myself because I got into therapy. I joined an HIV positive support group. I started connecting with like-minded souls who were talking about what they were going through. And so I don't feel alone anymore. And I feel part of a tribe, part of a village to help raise me to be here with you today.
Well, Mr. Tuggle, hearing what all you just said, there's many of us that's out here feeling like it's only us or we're alone. But I'm glad that you found that tribe. And moving back, let's go back to the part where you say you were diagnosed over how many years ago? First of all, you're 65. You look good.
Thank you.
You look good.
August 6, 1960 is my Earth Day.
What? Oh my God. You look amazing. Okay, I just had to get that out. But moving back, let's go back even before you were diagnosed because we want to know who you were before you got to this stage, right? So take us back, because here at It Had to Happen TV, it's all about my journey, my pain, my purpose. So you're gonna take us on a journey right now. You're gonna take us back to your younger days, Mr. Tuggle. Tell us about who you were back in the day.
My younger days. Well, I was born and raised in the South Side of Chicago in the summer of 1960. I've got three brothers and three sisters. I'm the fifth out of seven. And, I always felt different. I always felt like there was something about me that I couldn't connect with other people. So I felt this loneliness and sadness in my heart. I didn't really know how to cultivate intimacy with other people. And then I had secrets in my life, and family and secrets are a dangerous combination, because when you tell a secret, you can break your family, but when you keep a secret, you can break your spirit. And I didn't know how to progress and mature, and I started using drugs, I started drinking, started rebelling, cutting class, not going to school, not doing my homework, and I found myself homeless and jobless and penniless. And, I was in treatment, and I took the HIV antibody test, and it changed the trajectory of my life. I was obsessed with dying for like months, like Tupac and Biggie. But I had a spiritual advisor who suggested that I seek a therapist. And 31 years ago, I thought therapy was for rich, crazy white people.
Yep. See? It's unfortunate, but that's what we think in our community, honestly speaking.
Yeah. It's not an uncommon thought for melanated people. But she was attractive and vibrant, and she had made changes in her life. And so I was attracted to her spirit, and I took her suggestion, and I was in therapy on and off for about 10 years, joined a support group. I started journaling. I started to pray. I started to meditate. I started to do yoga and acupuncture. I started reading books from people who express diverse spiritual thought. And I God put these angels in my life, this tribe, and I started to meet people who were just like me, with the same feelings, the same challenges, the same shortcomings. And it helped me to feel less afraid, less alone, less ashamed. And I started to believe that maybe I can heal on the inside, because healing is a journey, not a destination.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But I love that you said that, Mr. Tuggle, because here's the thing here, it had to happen. I like to say that it's happened to us, but they happen for us, right? And all that you had to endure, the enemy always likes to keep us bound, thinking that, okay, it's just us, right? But like you said, when you find your tribe, you find your tribe. And when you find your tribe, please do hold on to them, because it's very, very hard to find a good tribe that can lead you. We like to have a lot of chiefs and not enough Indians, I must say, if you following me. Everybody wants to be the head, but sometimes you have to follow. You understand? You have to pick, you have to follow in order to be able to lead. So I thank God for your spiritual advisor. I don't know if she's tuned in here with you on tonight, but thank you so much for being his spiritual advisor and pouring into him. So let's go back, because you said something so profound, and that kind of hit home. You said when you tell your family, you what?
When you tell, I was talking about family and secrets. If you tell a secret, it can break your family. But if you keep a secret, it can break your spirit.
Jesus. And this is the thing. Either one is good, right?
Right. It's a
Either
paradox.
one is
It's a paradox.
right. But here's the thing, though. Why we're so busy worrying about others and study how we feel. You understand what I'm saying? Because here's the thing, Mark. We can tell someone who we are or how we feeling or whatever it is, but if their mind is made up about us, that's just what they're going to think. We could talk to we're blue in the face, but if you have something that's tearing your spirit up, you understand, it's messing with that soul. I understand you don't want to hurt your family. Granted, I get it, but then you're on the back end hurting, and now the mental health is, the mind is just being played with. You understand? And here it is. Sometimes maybe you can tell that secret to a family, and you're overthinking it, thinking that they may think a certain type of way. But in your case, did you experience that?
No. I mean, I'm blessed with 6 brothers and sisters who accept me and love me just as I am. You know, it was just like you said, it was mental. It was in my mind. I was projecting the worst, right? And I didn't have faith in a loving God growing up. I had a lot of confusion around religion, spirituality. What do I believe in? What do I not believe in? You know, my parents were very different. Like my mother would go to church, my father would go to the casino. So, you know, I was messed up. You know what I mean? Like I didn't know. My father told me one day, he said, Mark, what's the difference between people who pray in church and people who pray in the casino? I said, "Oh, Daddy." He said, people who pray in the casino really, really mean it.
Really?
It's a joke, but that was yeah. Because I mean, if you think about people who gamble and spend all their money and they're praying and praying and hoping that God's gonna bless them and it don't happen.
Yes.
Anyway, but so it was just difficult trying to navigate, you know, some sense of autonomy when it comes to my spirituality.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, but today I believe in a loving God of my own understanding.
You understand? But here's the thing, though. I love that you brought that up because the reason being is because people need to hear. Because people think that if they're doing one sin is bigger than the other. Because he was in the casino praying and mom was in church praying. You know, I think all of us sin and we come short. All of us, from the pulpit to the floor, I think all of us do, right? But here's the thing. I want us to know that no matter where you are, no matter where you're at, God, he still can use you. You're still valuable. You're still enough. I don't want to, like you were thinking, Mark, you said you never was, I guess, fit in. You never, but you wasn't able. Oh God, thank you, Holy Spirit. You wasn't supposed to fit in. So you say you was kind of alone back in your days, right? So you wasn't supposed to fit in, you were supposed to stand out. But here's the thing, you have people that feels the same way that you do, but they stay stuck. And if you had someone that was under the sound of your voice, because this is what It Had to Happen TV is about, we need to help folks. You've been in a situation, you went through your its and probably still going through some its, but we want to know how you came out. So if you had someone that was under the sound of your voice right now, that may be struggling in the mind, maybe have that secret that you said that would tear up the spirit of the family, can you please offer them some words of encouragement?
Well, I mean, there's so many tools to heal the hurt in your heart. Mental health is not a one size fits all solution. It's not like taking aspirin to the emergency room.
Right.
So some people heal through journaling. They write how they feel on a piece of paper. Some people heal through prayer, some through meditation, some through yoga, some through acupuncture, some through colonics, some through cooking, some through gardening, some through sewing, some through hip hop lyrics, going for a walk, playing with animals, being with their kids. There's so many ways to heal the hurt in one's heart, and everyone has to find what works for them. Yeah. So, because everyone is unique in God's eyes. So, I can't speak for all Black men. I can speak for Mark Tuggle, and I can share my experience. And I know I'm not alone, and I'm on the other side of where I used to be. I'm on the other side of it. So my heart has been healing for quite some time, but the journey continues.
Absolutely. And here's, you can't speak for anybody else, but you can offer some words of encouragement, because I believe that God allowed us to go through, like I said, that it's happened to us, but it happened for us. So I believe that you have a word in you to give someone if they're in that situation where they may be they're overthinking if they have that secret. And here's the thing, you're not telling what they should do, but you could just offer them some type of words of encouragement. Because some people are really stuck, Mark, like really, really stuck. And they need stories like you're sharing on today.
Well, I have a website, www.culturalsilencewoundedsouls.com. And on the website, you will find books you can read. There are clinicians you can speak to. There are facilities you can visit. There are helplines you can call. There are podcasts you can watch. There's a documentary, there's a music video, there's poetry, there's an interview, there's discussion. So the resources on my website are designed to answer 3 important questions. What can I do? Where can I go? And who can I talk to?
That's good.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow, wow, that's good. That is really good. And guys, he said, can you please repeat the website once again? Because I didn't see it in the section to be able to share. So if you could repeat it again slowly for me, and I'll put it in here for you.
Sure. www.culturalstyle
Mhm.
culturalstylesouls.com.
All right. And
Cultural
here we
style woundedsouls.com.
Oh, cultural.
Yeah,
I thought you said T. Okay, let me put that in again. Okay, guys, here where you see the T is cultural, not T. It's cultural.
yeah.
Okay, cultural here, right here. And you can go to his website. He's going to tell you more all about what it is that he do later on in the part of the conversation. But here's the thing, Mark. Gosh, I got so stuck on that because that secret thing is just sticking with me for some odd reason because I never thought of it like that.
Mhm.
I never thought, well, here it is. You can break a family or break your spirit. I never even thought of it like that. So here's the thing. Do you believe people are more committed? Uh-oh, you went out.
I'm
Mark, I
still
don't
here.
see you.
I'm here.
Can you see me?
I can see you and I hear you.
I think we Okay, perfect. So
Okay.
do you believe people are committed to protecting their image than protecting their mental health?
Are you asking, are they committed to one or the other?
Yes.
Yes. Oh, definitely. Definitely. I think ego, image, pride can get in the
Mm,
way, because the mask, Paul Lawrence Dunbar used to
mm,
say, "We wear the mask that hides, that grins and lines, that grins and lines that hides our cheeks and shades our eyes." The poet Paul Lawrence Dunbar. And particularly Black people in this country where we're not valued, we're not respected, we're not honored. We've had to endure, the enslavement, the lynching, the brutality, the Reconstruction, the Civil Rights Movement, Reaganomics, Trumponomics. Like, we've been through so much since we've been here. And a lot of us don't feel free to be our authentic, genuine selves. You go to work and you have to wear masks. You go to school, you have to wear a mask. You're around your family, you wear a mask. And where can we go and just be who we really are?
You know what? Where are the safe spaces, basically? Where can you go to feel safe? Like you
Mhm.
said, the mask is constantly on, so you really can't be your authentic self, especially if you're wearing that mask. There's no way possible that you can be your authentic self if you're wearing a mask on a daily basis, right? So although that they're protecting their image, why do you feel like they do this?
Well, we live in a society that does not value our humanity. We've been here for a very long time, and we just never felt that this was our home. You walk out the door and you can stop by the cops. You go to work, people question your manhood, your intelligence.
Mm,
You get on the train, somebody wants some money. It's a challenge. Every day is a challenge, and I like mental health is still very much a taboo subject in our community.
yeah,
The stigma is very deep
yes,
because it's not just mental health. There's issues around manhood, issues around white supremacy mythology, issues around gender and sexuality. There's so much that comes to being a person, a human being.
mhm,
So it's good now that more and more brothers are talking about mental health openly, honestly. They're being transparent, they're being vulnerable, they're letting
yeah,
people in. But it's not natural. you know
mhm,
I mean, I know for myself, I resisted talking about how I felt. I didn't know anybody. I didn't know any Black men in my life that were talking about how they felt and talking about trauma and self-care and mental
wow,
health and emotional intelligence. So it's hard to be what you can't see,
that's true. Now
and
that is true.
someone has someone has to be the example, you
Right,
know. So
right.
if everyone in front of me is wearing a mask and keeping it in and trying to be strong and cool and tough and bad and all this, I'm going to internalize that because that's what I see. That's what I know. I got to find something different. And God sent me a tribe of people who showed me that I can just be Mark, you know. My
And
tribe is my truth.
So let me ask you this. You say that you found your tribe of people, but do you think that it was possible that you had a tribe of people back then, but just because the overthinking or your way of thinking may have kind of like you didn't find that tribe at that particular time?
I mean, I was diagnosed 31 years ago. And even before then, growing up, I didn't know any brothers who were talking openly about mental health at all. Mental health
Oh
and black
goodness.
men were not in the same sentence. It's only in maybe the last 10 years where we can have these conversations now on YouTube. If you go on YouTube, you're not going to find a video 20 years ago where black men were talking about mental health. It just doesn't exist. So it's difficult. You want to share, but then
Yeah.
there's the fear of being judged, the fear of being hurt, the fear of being rejected, the fear of being abandoned, the fear of being laughed at, all those fears. And I'll give you an example. When I was a kid, my whole family went to see The Wiz when Stephanie Mills played Dorothy. This was like in the 60s in Chicago. And it was one of the few times we gathered as a family. And when Dorothy was singing Home and she got to the crescendo, because Stephanie Mills has a very powerful voice, I
Yes.
started to cry. I started to cry because now I know she touched my spirit, right? But my brothers and sisters were laughing at me. They were laughing at me. And 30 years later in therapy, I learned I was carrying the fear of being publicly humiliated.
Whoa. So it started from home.
Oh, yeah. I mean, trauma starts at home, you know, and then it's in the body, it's in my
Oh
body.
yeah. Internalize it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I didn't have the examples that I have now to be healthier and more mature and more serene and not take everything personally, you know,
Right.
being able to walk away. I can say no without feeling guilty. I can set boundaries, you know.
Mm,
I didn't
mm.
know how to prioritize my mental health, but today I do.
And with it being Mental Health Month, I can't believe like we're already the 12th day. The month felt like it just started, but we're in Mental Health Month. We're Mental Health Awareness Month this month, and I love the fact that I have you and another guest coming on tomorrow. Openly speaking about this, and like you said here, and I think about it, no, you don't see any videos or even hear of men talking about their mental health because it's a sign of weakness, so
Mhm.
they say,
Right.
right? But that is not, that's the biggest lie that there is. It's not a sign of weakness. It's weak when you can't show your emotions. You understand? So I love that you found this tribe. And again, if they're listening in, thank you, thank you, thank you for being a tribe and being there for someone. And here's the thing: when you have other people hear that others went through the same thing or something similar that they're going through, you tend to open up more. So is that what happened inside of these support groups when you started going?
Oh, definitely, definitely. And I believe that instinctively, I knew I needed somebody to talk to a long time ago. I
Yeah.
just didn't know who to talk to. I didn't know where to go, who to talk to. Again, therapy was not part of the Black culture for centuries. You know, today, I would encourage people to start their own support group. Maybe
Mm,
3, 4, 5 people get together once a week, once a month, and sit in a circle and just chop it up. You don't have to have a professional there. You don't have to have a job. You don't have to have insurance. You don't have to dress a certain way.
right.
Get together with people and just learn how to be amongst each other. Because there's a spiritual
Yeah.
principle called Ubuntu in South Africa. And that's about community and family and spirituality. That's
And what
not
is it called again?
Ubuntu.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's about community, family, and spirituality. And I
Mhm.
think that's lacking, in the mental health space. We need to learn how to build community,
Yeah.
allow our families to be part of the healing process, and use our spirituality for tools for liberation and devotion, etc.
Hmm. But here's the thing: what if the spiritual tools that you have, or you're spiritually inclined, and your family or your friends feel threatened by that? they hold it. Well, I won't say threatened by it. Let me rephrase that. They try to hold you to your past, although God has, elevated you. You grew. Everybody is entitled. I mean, everybody should grow on. I grow on a daily basis. I said I'm not even the same person I was yesterday. But what happens, Mark, when you have these people that's around you, that look at you like, okay, well, it's just jive talk because I knew what he or she did in their past. Does that mean that those not your people? You find more people? What is it? What happened with that?
Well, I've learned how to love people from a distance.
Oh,
Yeah. So like I love you, but I don't feel safe around you emotionally. So I've had to, connect with other people who can serve as my brother, my sister, my
yes.
uncle, my aunt. They're not biological, they're spiritual. People that it could be my next door neighbor,
Yes.
just someone that I feel safe with in the moment to talk about
Yes.
what I'm going through so I don't harm me and I don't harm you.
Mm. Wow. Let me tell you, I love this conversation. This is so good. If you guys are just coming in, listen, Broken Minds Behind Perfect Pictures, the Mark Tuggle journey. And as you can see, he's dropping some real jewels here on tonight. Man, Mark, the tribe, the tribe, the tribe. He suggests that everyone finds some support group, whether it's five. You don't have to come in uh no one is looking, basically. We're looking to help. That's all. We're listening to hear and not listening to respond. Those are type of groups I want to be a part of. And like you said, I want to feel safe when I'm there emotionally, spiritually, mentally. I just want to feel safe. And this is what we need to start doing, Mark. But where do you see the number one problem in building these communities or these safe spaces?
And building community?
Yes.
Oh, wow. The number one problem.
Yes.
That's a good question. The number one problem. Well, the first thing that came to my mind was financing. Just because it's difficult, to find a space and to be able to provide resources and services and pay people X amount of dollars. And um, but I think really the most difficult thing is just making a decision. You know,
Mm.
just making a decision to do something different.
Yeah.
You don't have to
Yeah.
do what other people are doing. Do it the way that God has you see do it. And that's the
Hey,
benefit of prayer and meditation. The more I pray and meditate, the more God speaks to me in whispers when I'm quiet, and I can
mhm.
hear his voice. Because
Yes.
let me tell you, 7, 8 years ago, I was not thinking about writing a book. That was not on my radar. But one day God spoke to my spirit and said, Mark, I want you to write about what you've been going through.
Hmm.
And here I am. I didn't know I was going to become an author. That was not on my radar. But again, when I pray and I meditate, more gets revealed to me.
Yes.
And God is speaking to me. And if I listen, follow his will, then
Yes.
I'm being prepared for whatever happens. And so that's why I'm here with you, because I'm not afraid to tell you who I am, what I've been through, because, until you let go of your past, you cannot tell yourself a new story.
Right. That's so true. That is so true. And excuse me. Also, too, I'm glad that you came here to It Had to Happen TV to share your story and to share your it's and everything that you've been through. But we have to know as a people that there's no two people that's alike. So
Mhm.
if you join one tribe or found one tribe and that tribe didn't work for you, don't stop. Don't stop because you definitely can get into other tribes. There's people that genuinely care out here. There are people that are not wearing the mask. They wore the mask, but they done took the mask off. They retired the mask, and they're willing to help. Like people like Mark, he talked about his book that he wrote. So we're gonna jump into mental health and silence, right? Because that's why I wore my hat, Mark. It says hear it. It looks like it says hurt it, but it
Right.
says hear it, because a lot of it's time to be unsilenced, right? So we can get the help that we need. And it's out there, people like Mark. Mark has a book out, guys. So, Mark, your book is titled Cultural Silence and Wounded Souls. That speaks all for itself. But why do you believe that silence has become so normalized in the Black communities, especially among the men?
I mean, you look at our heroes, you look at our leaders, you look at the people that we admired and respected, and they got shot and killed for speaking their truth, for trying to lift up our people. And this goes back, centuries. You look at Crispus Attucks, Frederick Douglass. Um, you look at people like Dr. King and Malcolm X and Medgar Evers and Patrice Lumumba and so forth and so on. So Black men historically have seen their heroes gunned down by the government, by the police, and that does something to the spirit. If they can't, if they're not safe to tell the truth, then how can I be safe to tell the truth?
Whoa! So tell us all about this book. Man, I hope you guys are taking something away from this. I put Mark's website up. He's going to tell you how to get the book soon. But tell us all about how this book came about for the ones that maybe just coming in, Mark, that didn't hear your story in the beginning. You could just kind of give us a little tidbit of it. But please do tell us, one, about how the book came about, and two, how we can get this book.
So, like I said, God had put something on my spirit, and I wanted to write about my mental health journey. And I wasn't sure whether it was going to be a poem or an essay or haiku or even a journal. I just knew I needed to express myself. And I called a friend of mine who's also an artist, and he suggested I include other brothers. And so we both decided I'm going to publish a book, right? We made that decision. And initially, it's going to be 15 guys from around the country, and it turned into 30. It's called Cultural Silence and Wounded Souls, Black Men Speak About Mental Health. And so there's 30 authors from diverse backgrounds, and they write about how they cope, how they heal, how they overcome, how they persevere from all types of mental health challenges and concerns, whether it's anxiety, depression, PTSD, grief, loss, suicide ideation, drug misuse, paranoid schizophrenia, loneliness. There's so many mental health challenges and concerns. And the book also has resources that anyone can use. And so the book is on Amazon exclusively. It's $20 for the paperback and $10 for the Kindle version. It was published 3 years ago. 3 years ago, I became a first-time independent self-published author at the age of 63. And my intention with this book was to break the cycle of generational trauma in my family and to be of service to my community. And Muhammad Ali says that service to others is the rent you pay for your room here on earth. So that's what I do, is to be of service to my, I'm not really interested in being rich and famous, I mean, I won't turn down $1, I'm not stupid, but but that's not my intention. That's not why I did this. I really wanted to break that cycle. And so now I have, family members who bought the book and we can talk about it. I have friends, people in my neighborhood, we can talk about it. I've done podcasts all over the world. So I know that I've always wanted to make a difference, but I had to tell my story first.
That's good.
Yeah.
Well, you heard it here. It had to happen. This book is called Cultural Silence, Wounded Souls. And listen, we know that he told you to go over to Amazon, but Mr. Tuggle, do you have any books on hand? Because I know that you get all the proceeds when they order from you. So, or is it just on Amazon?
Well, I mean, I have books at home. But it's exclusively available on Amazon. But I do have books for sale. But I would like to gift you 3 copies, and you can decide who you would like to give them to.
Thank you, Mr. Tuggle. I truly appreciate it. Oh, listen, let me tell you something. You said about the rent. How did you say that again? Because I heard something the other day similar to what you just said. That I think Muhammad Ali said.
Service to others is the rent you pay for your room here on earth.
And here's what I heard the other day, not verbatim, please don't quote me, but they was just saying a lot of people is past due on their rent for that, what you just said.
Hmm.
because a lot of us do not like to serve or pour into others. And I just thank you for even pouring into three individuals. Maybe we can do it here with the people that's here on tonight, so into them. And I definitely would give one to Mr. Searcy because you asked me to give him a book. So I
Yeah,
definitely will give him, he will definitely be one of the recipients of your book.
thank you.
However, you
And please
spoke about that fear thing. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
please connect me with him if you can. I would appreciate it.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll definitely reach out to him. So
Okay.
here's the thing. You just spoke about the fear thing. Mr. Cersei spoke about the fear thing. And this is what robs us. The Bible even tells about fear is one of the things that robs us of everything, And at one particular time in my life, I remember being very fearful and fearful of not, I had a fear of letting others down.
Mm,
So when you spoke about those boundaries, you spoke about saying no, and being okay with it, and serving people from a distance. Mr. Tuggle, I didn't know how to do that at one point in time in my life. I was just so afraid of really letting others down. And excellent black never cracks. Thank you so much. He's 65, you guys. When he told us he was 65, I could not believe it. 65 years old, right here in front of you, looking amazing. Oh my God, and doing some amazing things.
thank
But
you.
if you had someone that is sitting here kind of afraid to take that jump to do what you did, one, finding the tribe, two, writing that book. Because when God speaks and you know his voice, I Mr. Toggle, I'm telling you, I don't care. I would drop everything. When he speaks, I'm dropping everything and I'm running full force, because when he gives it, he's gonna give you everything that you need to be successful in whatever it is he have you to do. So if you have that person that's sitting here that's struggling, like, I don't know where to start, I don't know if I should start, or that fear is setting in pretty much.
Do I know someone like that? Is that what you're asking me?
No, I'm asking if someone is on here now listening to you that
Oh,
may
okay.
be sitting in that space.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I hope they go to my website to get some information. They can connect with me on social media. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on Instagram. I I've got an ear for compassion, another ear for empathy. So
Mm.
I really would like to listen because sometimes I know for myself that's all I really needed was just someone to listen, to not cut me off, not interrupt me, not try to fix, manage, and control me, tell me what to do, why to do, and how to do it. Just be present in my presence. That's what I need.
Mm.
And I didn't get that when I was a kid. So I just kind of rebelled.
Well, and that's the thing. If you don't fix it or get healed from it, it will linger on. And what happens is it end up damaging everything that comes your way. Everyone that you come in contact with, you end up bleeding on them and they then cut you. And we wonder why there's so many failed relationships and so much going on in this world because we have a lot of unhealed people, you know. And like you said, it stemmed from sometimes it start at home.
Yeah.
Sometimes it start right at home. But I thank God that you're where you're at now. And unfortunately, you had to be diagnosed with something in order to find your tribe. And I listened to, I can't remember her name. She was on the Jennifer Hudson show today. And she was basically saying when God set her down, is when she began to say, okay, she started seeing some things and she didn't want to come out and tell her story until she can tell how she overcame it. And I think that's what you're doing here with the people on tonight, Broken Minds Behind Perfect Pictures, the Mark Tuggle journey. So, Mark, let me ask you this question here because we talked about the mental health side of it, but now I want to touch on the personal autonomy side of it because whew, this world that we're living in right now is in such chaos. So, in a world full of pressure, Mark, trends and social media influence, Okay, let me just read. Social media influence and public expectations. How does a person maintain personal autonomy without losing themselves to fit in? Because like I told you in the earlier part of the show, like you wasn't made to fit in back then. That's why you felt so different because he didn't design you to fit in. So how is it that a person maintain their personal autonomy without losing themselves to fit in? Because too many of us are doing it. And I say us because I did it.
Well, I mean, I've learned that personal autonomy is a journey. It's not a
Mm,
destination. It's a process, not an event. And the more I pray and meditate, the more I learned about my beliefs and my values. I learned about my spiritual needs. I have a need to feel safe. I have a need to feel appreciated. I have a need to belong. I have a need to express myself in a creative way. I have a need to cultivate my spirit. And I learned if I'm around people who don't nurture my needs, then it's time for me to move on. I can love you, but we won't be on the phone. We won't be hanging
mm,
out. And I had to learn how to do that, and that was painful. It was difficult because I didn't know how to navigate, and put myself first. I thought I was being selfish or
yep.
ungrateful. I just had all these conflicting feelings.
Yeah.
But the value of having people in your life who understand you. People were like, I had spiritual cheerleaders like Mark. Just be yourself, be who you are.
Mhm.
You're not harming anybody. You're just making a decision to move in another direction. I'm from Chicago,
Mm.
to New York because I wanted something different. I may move to another country, I don't know, but I'm open to new ways of thinking and being. And I think it's important to be open minded to new ideas and new people, new situations.
Absolutely. How did you get there? How did you do it? Give me a couple of steps because here's the thing. I'm quite sure somebody else is on here too. To get to that point in your life where you're just like, okay, well, if you're not my safe space or you're not, if I can't feel safe around you, then basically I just can't be around you. I could deal with you from afar, but I just don't want you in my personal space because when you're vulnerable, when you're vulnerable, some people, let me say that. I won't say most, but some people will look at you like, especially another man, I believe, look at you like you're being weak. Mr. Cersei spoke about it too in the locker room where you have the athletes, right? And they're in the locker room and the player's hurt. If you're hurt, Mr. Tuggle, are you not supposed to seek help? Do you supposed to continue to walk in that hurt? And that's just like if you're hurting mentally, do you supposed to continue to walk in that hurt? But he was saying though that the men look at you like, oh, you're showing a sign of weakness, but you're hurt. You're hurt.
Yeah, I think that goes back to when we were kids. I think that boys and girls are perceived and socialized and treated differently. So if a little girl cries, no one's going to call her a lesbian. No one's going to question her sexual identity, right?
Jesus.
People are going to give her a hug. Are you okay, baby? Come here. Let me talk to you. Are you all right? If a little boy cries, people question his gender, his sexuality. He must have said something. He must have did something. He must have deserved. He must have brought it upon himself. So boys get blamed and shamed at a very young age in a different way than girls are, from my experience, my lived experience. And you see that, wow, I can't be vulnerable because you're going to hurt me if I tell you I'm sad, I'm disappointed. Who can I tell that I feel rejected? If I'm a boy, I'm not supposed to feel rejected. That's not a male feeling because society has assigned these feelings like only girls can be sensitive, only girls can be nurturing, only girls have intuition, women's intuition. So I never learned how to trust my instincts because all I heard was women intuition, women intuition, women intuition. It was drained into my psyche. And I had to unlearn that through therapy, support groups, prayer, meditation, writing, talking to friends, and the journey continues. I'm still healing.
Right, right. Uh, hmm, wow. And this goes back to hmm, when I used to mentor young women, I used to let them know like we always telling the man what we need, right? We always telling them that they should know how we feeling, like basically be a mind reader. But I used to always tell them, like, men, biggest thing is they need to feel needed. And this is where I think a lot of relationships fail, because although we want what we want, we're really not catering to his needs. We're so focused on, and I'm getting on us women. Yes, I am, because I did it at one point in my life. But we're so focused on how we want him to make us feel,
Mm.
what he should be providing for us, especially this day society. I see so many women saying, "Oh, this man have to have this, he have to have that before he even approach me." But truth be told, what are you bringing to the table? What are you bringing to the table? But when are we going to start catering to our men? And I'm not saying this just because you're in a relationship with this man. If he's a friend to you, a brother to you, any man that's in your presence, can you cater to them? Because they need, you just heard it. He needed certain things. And although he needed these things, some people couldn't be that for him. And he knew basically what to move on from it, because he know what he needs. But on the other hand, Mr. Tuggle, I don't think by you knowing what you needed at that particular time, that you negated what other people needed out of you. I don't think that's not what I heard, but this is what's happening. So now we're going to jump in basically to the spiritual values and healing, because we know that the healing process, it is a long journey, but it is a well worth journey. And all the tools that Mr. Tuggle used, he used therapy, he used his tribe, he used journaling. And that's one thing that the Bible, to write the vision and make it plain. A lot of times I like to write my prayers out, Mr. Tuggle. I love to write my prayers out, or even how I'm feeling that day, what I could have done better that day, or what I didn't do that day, or where I lacked at that day, because that's what I could go back and look at what it is that I did, how did I move, and how I could get better from what I did. That's why I tell you, I like growing. I don't want to I'm not the same person I was yesterday, because I want to be the best. I want to be a good me so I could be the best me to others. I don't want to just make it all about me. So spiritually, now we're going to go there. Spiritually, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. So the spiritual values and healing, we're going to talk about it now. So you went away again. Can you hear me?
I can hear you and I can see you.
Oh, I don't know what's happening.
I
How
don't know.
have spiritual values helped shape your healing and your perspective and understanding of mental wellness beyond what society traditionally teaches? Because we know that you said it earlier that it wasn't talked about.
Yeah, well, spiritual values have really given me a template for learning, for living, for loving, a blueprint for success. And I'm starting to learn what I really value, what's important to me. For example, the only holiday I celebrate is Kwanzaa. That's my choice. And when I was in college, I sat my parents down and I shared with them some of the things I believed in. You know, I don't believe in Memorial Day and Independence Day and Columbus Day and all that kind of stuff. Like, you know, I only believe in Kwanzaa because Kwanzaa, it was created by Dr. I can't think of his name right now, Malana Karenga in the 60s. And it's based on spiritual principles. It's based on African ancestry. And so something I really value was my ancestry. So learning what my values are and then learning how to live according to my values and beliefs have really helped me to try to cultivate some semblance of integrity. You know, I don't want to be wishy-washy with my decision making. I don't want to do something just because you want to do it. You know what I mean? Just because it's okay for you doesn't mean that it's okay for me. And I don't want to feel like because you're my family or you're my friend or you're somebody in my neighborhood, I have to do, like, you can invite me to a picnic, but I don't mean I have to go. You know, I can say thank you, but no thank you. I didn't know how to do that before because I was so codependent. I was so afraid of what you thought about me. I could never say no to nobody, you know? And I got sick and tired of that, you know? So I got to a place where, you know what, Mark, you need to change. Stop being a Toys R Us kid. Grow,
Oh,
you know what I mean? And really, grow some, you know what I mean? And I had to really start to really be assertive
yeah.
without being arrogant. I had to learn how to be confident without being cocky. It's a journey. Life is a journey. So thank God for spiritual values.
Whew. Mark,
Excuse me.
Mark, my God. You need to teach a class on how to get there. I'm telling you, you really need to teach a class. But here's where you can find Mark on his website, www.culturalsilencewoundedsouls.com. You can go over there. He has all type of resources. He has his book. Come on, Mark, tell us all what we can find there on this website.
So the website, there's a music video, there's poetry, there's a documentary on Black men and depression. There's an interview with an older man and 4 young Black men. There's a podcast. I was on a podcast with someone in California. And there's lots of books you can read around mental health, mental illness, self-care. There's clinicians you can speak with. There's educators you can talk to. There are facilities you can visit. There are helplines you can call. There are podcasts you can watch, So the resources are really important for anyone who has mental health challenges and concerns, or maybe you have a family member or a friend or a coworker or classmate that you're concerned about. And you can suggest that they take a look at the website and check out the resources and see if there's something for you that's good for your spiritual growth and development.
All right, guys, you heard it here. It had to happen. Tonight's topic is Broken Minds Behind Perfect Pictures, the Mark Tuggle journey. Mark, we're going to get ready for these rapid fire questions. But what I'm going to do right now, I love to give my guests the floor to speak to anyone or whatever God lays on your heart. Whatever you decide to speak to the people about on tonight, I'm going to give you the floor and we're going to jump into this rapid fire questions because we're right here at 6:52 Mark. This time went by so fast.
Wow. Okay.
I have to bring you back if you're willing.
I will be out.
Okay, the floor is yours.
So what do we do now?
You're just going to speak to the people from the heart.
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah.
Well, first of all, Dr. Wilson, thank you for the honor to be in community with you, to dialogue with you. It's been an honor. I really appreciate this opportunity. And I know this is divine because every day I pray only for the knowledge of his will for me and the power to carry that out. So when God gives me something to do, I try to do it, not perfectly, just humanly, and I fall short. I make mistakes. I wander off course, but I had to learn how to not beat myself up. I had to learn how to forgive myself for being myself. I had to learn how to stop walking in somebody's image of me. Like people in my life had ideas about who I should be and what I should do and where I should go, and I didn't know how to speak up for myself. I didn't know how to be an advocate for myself, and I ended up compromising my soul. Because I was just so afraid that you wasn't going to like me if I spoke my truth. And I know I'm not alone like that, So being in therapy, joining a support group, doing some journaling, going for a walk, eating healthy, going to the gym, little things you can do that I have done to give my life a meaning and value and purpose, and I'm just grateful that, God woke me up and, he gave me, some spiritual food to share with other people that they can eat. And I can connect with people from all over the world. Right now, I'm working on a independent 9-part docuseries on the journey of Black men and their mental health. And my producer is Gregory Gates, based in Harlem. It's called Cultural Science of Wounded Souls. And we have cultivated an intergenerational, multicultural tribe of men and women from around the world to be part of this project. So it's going to be like a 9-part docuseries. And every episode will be like 45 to 60 minutes in scope. So one episode will be about grief and loss. One will be about trauma and transformation. One will be about lived experience. One will be about young Black men. And so I'm going to be interviewing men and women from around the globe to get their cultural perspectives, their global perspectives, So people can learn that, okay, I'm in Harlem, but you may be in Houston, or you may be in Havana, or you may be in Cuba, and we're going through the exact same human experience. And you don't have to
Mm,
tell yourself, there's somebody just like you in South Africa or South Carolina,
yeah.
and I want to try to connect people together, right?
Mhm.
So I have three suggestions for the audience, right? Number one, um, get three people in your life and text them once a day or once a week. Just three people. A daily
Mm,
weekly check. How's your heart? How's your spirit? How's you feeling today? Right? Number two, I want you to grab 5, 7, or 10 people and meet once a month in what I will call a peace circle. Right? You meet at
mm,
home, you sit in a circle and just chop it up. Right? And while you're there, you may want to talk, you may want to pray, you may want to sing, you may want to dance, you may want to journal, you may want to do some rap lyrics, you may want to read a
mhm.
book. You can decide how to cultivate this healing circle and build your own community. And number three, I want people to cultivate a virtual gathering quarterly. And this way you can invite people from around the world
Yeah.
on a virtual space. And maybe you might then invite a professional who can do a presentation,
Mhm.
show maybe a film or some videos or some graphics and statistics. Because people are dying every day. You know, the guy in the lieutenant governor of Virginia, who recently, a black man who killed his wife and himself. Like this happened recently. I mean,
Jesus.
yeah, I mean, it's really at one point, Dr. Wilson, at one point in this country, right, the leading cause of suicide were black boys aged 5 to 12, and
Ooh.
nobody was talking about it, right? And so this one woman came home and found her son, 6 years old, he hung himself with a belt. I can't imagine that type of pain, right? And
Mm.
so I believe that mental health is something that we should learn when we're really young. It should be part of our curriculum. When you're in school, you should learn about mental health as
Yeah.
much as science and reading and history,
Yeah.
because it's not just our feelings, it's the choices I make, it's how I handle conflict, it's how I deal with stress,
Yes.
it's my values. There's so many layers to mental health, right?
Yes.
And again, there's no one size fits all.
At all.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
So if you are uninterested in going to see a therapist, that's fine. We should not blame therapy should not be the litmus test or the barometer for healing. There's so many ways to heal your heart. And there's so many examples out here, people who are doing it a day at a time, you
Yeah.
know, with people who really respect them and honor them and value their spirituality.
Whew. You guys just got 3 tips for free. Okay. You just got 3 tips for free. And these are 3 valuable tips. You understand? Mark, oh my gosh, I have never been lost for words, but this was such an awesome and you this was such an awesome interview because I remember you saying how you fall short and things happen, right? Just think about how we were trying to make this happen on tonight. You
Right.
see, it was supposed to happen at one particular. We thought that it was supposed to happen that particular time, but
Right.
there were some hiccups in there. But it all came together in God's time, and we don't. I don't like to move out of line. I don't like to move before Him, and I thank God that it happened on tonight because you don't know what you just did for me. Like
Mm,
I thought, and this is one of the things. This is therapy for me. I like to tell people, this is therapy for me because when God loaned me this title, it had to happen, and I'm hearing other people's stories, and I'm sitting on the back end like Erica, why are you tripping?
mm,
What is wrong with you? Get it together. It's not as bad as you think that it is. But that's when you get in your own head, like you spoke about earlier, and you start really to overthinking things and you allow fear to set in. But this next chapter of my life, Mr. Toggle, I'm telling you, I'm walking boldly. I'm walking bold, even heavier than I was walking before. And no, it's not being arrogant. It's not being arrogant. It's just being you know who you are and you know who you belong to. And when God give you a thing to do, like I said, when he's in it, Mark, when he's in it, The whole blueprint is laid out for you. You just have to be obedient and being willing enough to pick up your cross daily and follow the examples he give you to serve his people. Because we all was given a gift here on this side of heaven, all of us. And I love how you say you connect people from around the world, because the virtual way of it now is what's happening. Yes, it's okay to get that circle. I love that what was the name of the circle again? You called
Uh,
it
I would call it a peace circle.
peace circle.
Yeah.
Okay. But after that peace circle, he did say get the virtual thing going,
Yeah.
because at the end of the day, somebody on the other side of the world needs you. They
Hmm.
need to see Mark Tuggle. They need to see the it's that's happening in others' lives. So, Mark Tuggle, I thank you. I truly, truly thank you for getting on tonight, sharing your story.
You're
But
welcome.
now I'm ready to go ahead and jump into these rapid fire questions before we get out of here. It's 7 o'clock already. Are you kidding me? Time waits on nobody, y'all. And we're thankful for each and every one of you who came in on tonight to listen to Mark Tuggle. He blessed. It had to happen with books, three of his books. And I tell you what I'm going to do with that. Mark Tuggle, he blessed us with three of his books. I have these cute mental health t-shirts that I would like to put alongside with Mark Tuggle's book. And here we go. These are the t-shirts that we have. Mental health matters.
Mhm.
Mental health matters. And the reason I showed that, Mr. Tuggle, is because God had laid it on my heart to do something with athletes for mental health, because a lot of them are suffering in silence. I just thank God. I have my oldest son, he played ball as well, but my baby son, he made it to pro level. He made it to the pro level. And I witnessed a lot of things, not with him, but overall. I just witnessed so much. And I think that is, like you said, is needed in the younger it need to be taught in school. It definitely need to be taught in school, especially with so much that's been going on now. It's like anything goes. All the things that we're seeing now is we have to make sure we're protecting the mind, because once the enemy have that mind, he has everything else. So I'm gonna put that shirt with whoever we bless. Mr. Cersei is one. So Mr. Cersei, if you listening in, I want to bring you and Mark on together. I want to bring you both on. I'm going to speak to Mark. I'm going to speak to Mr. Cersei about connecting with you as well and giving him the book and the t-shirt. But if you're on here and if you can tell us, when was Mark's it that transformed his life? How many years ago? Just give us the years, the number of years. We'll take the number of years. When I'll put it like this, I'll make it even easier. When was he diagnosed?
I would say December 1994.
You're not supposed to tell them. They
Oh,
supposed to guess.
oh, I didn't. I thought you were asking me. Oh, okay, my bad. Okay.
They're supposed to guess, and that's how they win the book and the shirt.
My bad. I got to keep coming. Sorry.
Well, he gave it away. He gave it away. So I'll just find two other people to bless with the shirt and
You have
the
another
book.
question? Can you ask another question?
All right, let me see. How about you ask the question? And
Okay.
then I'll jump into the rapid fire question. But guys, if you can answer it, please do. We're going to give you 1 minute to answer Mr. Tuggle's question.
Okay. What year did Carter G. Woodson establish Negro History Week?
Oh, I don't even know that one. Repeat the question again so they can hear it again.
What year did Carter G. Woodson establish Negro History Week?
Put it in the comments. You can win Mr. Tuggle's book and a nice Mental Health Matters shirt to match.
Because before it was Black History Month, it was Negro History Week, and not everybody knows that history. So,
And I'm not ashamed.
it's okay. It's okay.
But I'm learning tonight, okay? But I never heard the Negro History Week.
Yeah.
That's why I told you, you may be in the wrong. You need to be teaching.
Thank you.
You need to facilitate some things here, okay?
Well, I do have that experience, but thank you. I appreciate it.
So how can one reach out to you to get the help that they may need?
So I'm on Instagram, Mark Tuggle. I'm also on LinkedIn. Um, those are probably the two best ways to connect with me because I'm on those every day. I'm not on Facebook very often, but I do have a
Mhm.
Facebook page. I don't use Twitter very much. I don't call it X. Um, so I would
Yeah.
Instagram and LinkedIn. And then people can email me, MJT975 at msn.com. And just to give you a backstory, if you add up the numbers 9, 7, and 5, you get 21. Because it's a spiritual law that says if you do the same thing every day for 21 days, it becomes a habit.
It becomes a habit.
Right. And so you can develop good habits. Like, let's say you pray every day for 21 days. You can make prayer a part of your life. You meditate every day for 21 days. You eat something healthy every day for 21 days. You go for a walk. So 21 is it's a spiritual number, and the energy is something I wanted to make that a part of me. So yeah.
Listen, you guys on here tonight, you got a treat. Mr. Tuggle has really, really dropped so many gems here on tonight. And man, I'm telling you, I was not ready for this one. I'm still a little jet lagged, but that's all right. We got through this interview, and I'm forever grateful for you, Mr. Toggle, and the one that tuned in on with us on tonight. Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Mr. Toggle, let's jump into these rapid fire questions really quick. What's one toxic mindset you believe society normalizes too much?
Now, is that for me or for the audience?
For the audience.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
no, I'm asking you. No, no, I'm sorry. What's one toxic mindset you believe, Mr. Tuggle, society normalizes too much?
That black people are inferior.
Mm, okay. What does true strength look like to you?
True strength is courage, humility, and perseverance.
Mm, okay. One word that describes this generation emotionally.
Uh, conflicted.
Ooh. Oh. What's harder for most people, honesty or healing?
Honestly.
Mm, not healing?
Well, how can I heal if I'm not honest?
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Because the reason why I said healing is because some people just like to stay in, I wouldn't say their mess, I wouldn't say that. They just like to stay in their box. It becomes comfortable for them and they don't want to get out. But you're right. How can you heal if you're not honest? By all means. If someone, Mr. Toggle, is silently struggling mentally right now, what's one thing you want them to remember?
You are not alone.
Mm, you are not alone. Whew. So, guys, as we close tonight's show, as you can see, Mr. Toggle has really, really shared so much insight here with us tonight. So, tonight's conversation reminded us all that healing is a weakness at all. Silence is not strength, and surviving is not the same as living whole. You see, too many people are suffering behind created images while carrying wounds nobody ever, never, ever sees. But conversations like this, people of God, create room for honesty, accountability, awareness, and transformation. So thank you, Mr. Tuggle, for using your voice tonight in your journey and platform to help break cultural silence surrounding mental health and emotional healing. And to everyone watching, take care of your mind, protect your peace, and never let the pressure to appear strong stop you from becoming whole. This has been It Had to Happen TV with Dr. Erica Wilson, and these are my words to you. I pray that tonight's story truly, truly blessed you. And if this broadcast has blessed you, please do share it with someone that you think that will be blessed by it. Also, if you would like to book with me, you definitely could go over to my website at www.ericawilsonih2h.com. Again, www.ericawilsonih2h.com. It's time for the people to hear it. Okay? It's time for us to be on silence. Mark, thank you, thank you, thank you. But we do not like leaving this broadcast without sending out some virtual hugs. Gonna hug. Where are you? Harlem?
Harlem, New York. Yeah.
I'm sending you some virtual hugs and some virtual love. You see my heart? Because we love you here at It Had to Happen TV, and we cannot do this without each and every one of you. Again, if this broadcast has truly blessed you, please do share it. Don't keep it for yourself. Mr. Tuggle gave out some very important information on tonight. Mr. Tuggle, I hope to see you soon, and I will get in touch with Mr. Cersei, and I'll be in touch with you soon.
Thank you
God
so
bless
much.
you.
All right.
You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Good night, everyone. Meet me. Oh, I'm sorry. Meet me back tomorrow. I will have the Terrence Dennis with us tomorrow. Feelings aren't facts. The battle between emotion, logic, and faith. Mr. Dennis, he has a story. He's a two-timer. He's coming back on tomorrow. He has a phenomenal story. He was a foster kid, and you just have to come back. I don't want to tell it. You have to come back. You have to come back tomorrow at 6 p.m. to hear his story. He have an amazing story and some great things that he wants to share with you all as well. So meet me back here tomorrow, God's willing. God bless you all. Bye bye.
Thanks, Dr. Wilson.
Alrighty, bye bye.
All right.